Hello and welcome to the Movie Podcast. My name is Daniel. I am one of your hosts today, and I am joined alongside Anthony.
Hello.
And Shabazz.
Buonasera.
How are you guys doing today? All smiles over here.
I said it, and Anthony's like, "You bet." You
do you have a license to say that word?
Yeah,
Did you ask permission?
I did. When I was in Italy, I said, "How many buonaseras can I get?" They're like, "When you go back to Canada, you can say it as many times as you want, Jack." And I'm like, "Fabrizio, what are you doing here?" Was Fabrizio's accent offensive to you when you watched Titanic?
Well, I've only watched it once, and
So that's enough for me.
that was enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not?
I don't even remember his accent.
Oh,
When
it
you
was-
said
I'm
Fabrizio,
going to America.
I'm like, who are you referring to?
Yeah,
and I'm like,
my
is
cousin?
that my cousin?
Yeah.
But then you said Titanic, and then I thought, oh well, I only watched it once.
Oh, it's a fantastic film. I think I watched it as a kid a few times in theaters too. I think that was one of my first 2 times.
Yeah, I remember you
theater
going-
film.
we
you were
know
saying-
why you watched it twice.
Is it because of
Nudity.
Kate Winslet? No, it was so uncomfortable to watch that as a child with your family there. I'd always have an excuse whenever we were watching it at home, like, "Oops, gotta go to the bathroom."
Was that it? I think that was in our 90s episode we were talking about
We
it.
did?
That,
Yeah,
that
I
you
think
saw
so.
it. You saw it a bunch of times, and I think you said the same. You said
Yeah, like I would like, "Oh, I'm tired."
Oh, I wasn't sure what that sound was. I was like, oh,
Close
it
my
is
eyes
popcorn.
for the next 5 minutes.
No, those sex scenes always felt longer. Like when he was drawing her, that was like the second VHS tape.
It's funny though, like when you were talking about the second VHS tape, I remember watching Titanic a lot on TV growing up.
Oh damn! How many TVs did you need for that film?
But this is the thing though, like that the thing that always blew me away with that movie is because it's so long. It'd be like, oh, it starts at like noon and then it would end at like 6 o'clock
Yeah.
because of all the commercial breaks and
Yeah.
everything like that.
That's true.
Remember commercial
whole
breaks?
whole day affair.
Yeah, I was watching. I forget what show I was. Oh, you know what it was? I came downstairs and my family was watching The Masked Singer.
Oh
Yeah,
okay.
so they were just channel surfing.
that was one where they just recently had Rudy Giuliani on it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe he could have been one of them.
Yeah.
and
Did they air that episode?
I don't think it's
don't
aired yet.
know.
I don't know. I listen. That also was a show that feels like it's a fake show because I literally
Yeah.
was watching it and my fan was just like, "What is going on here?" It's like The Masked Singer, but there's a subheading called like the cute, the ugly, and the cuddly or something like that, and it's so ridiculous. It's just so over the top. But what I was saying, my point was,
Yes.
there are so many commercials for shows, and I know that we're so spoiled by streaming services and stuff now, but my god, like I was just watching it and I felt like half the show is just commercials, and kind of is almost, right?
Yeah.
That's true. You're right. It absolutely feels fake.
It feels
like,
fake,
It
right?
feels like something you'd see in a movie. There's that show, and there was this Netflix dating show.
Yeah, the
Oh,
The one
mask
where they all dressed
they're
like
all dressed up,
animals
yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
or creepy things. They literally feel like shows that just are being parodied.
Yeah.
It's like an alternate universe
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
It's like in Grand Theft Auto, it's like they have like
Yes.
the fame or shame. I'm like,
Yeah,
that kind of
that
feels
seems
like
more realistic now than
it does.
these
That's
shows.
mild now.
Yeah, that's like-
very mild now.
Like the studio at Rockstar is like, oh well, we were not that far off.
Yeah, how do we parody
Yeah.
real life now? You
Yeah.
can't. As always, you can catch a brand new episode of the Movie Podcast every single Monday. And you can watch out throughout the week for review episodes on all the latest movies and series. Make sure to follow us at the Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd. And don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, join our Discord, and write into the show at hello@themoviepodcast.ca. You can check out our show notes for all of those links and more. There's also another link I want you guys to check out. Make sure you're following us and subscribing to us on YouTube, youtube.com/themoviepodcast. Anthony's been doing some great work getting all of our videos and episodes and reviews up there, up and running, and we've been seeing a lot of growth on there. So please join us in that community and join us in the YouTube world as well if you want to. If you want another way to support us.
I have my own metrics that I want to reach before the end of the year. So,
Yeah. What
yeah.
are some of your goals that you want for our show to hit on YouTube?
Well, at least I would love to see, like, we get a lot of subscribers to the podcast, but we don't have a lot through our YouTube channel. So I'm looking to get at least 1,000.
1,000
But
is
if
a good
we can get
number.
even more, because our exclusive content is going to start to ramp up. So we're gonna have a lot of new content.
Spoilers.
Is it a spoiler?
No, I'm just kidding. It's not. I'm on your side.
Are you on my side?
Yeah.
I feel like Shay wouldn't be on my side.
Wait, I'm on your side.
It depends, I guess, what side you're taking. What side are you on right now?
You're on the side of the Lord?
But which? What?
So YouTube.
I don't know how to answer these things, man.
I'm on your side.
I don't like the way Shay's saying it though, or
I know.
Side.
looking saying
It
it.
sounds-
The back
I'm on your
side,
side.
the front side.
How many sides do you have? now?
Well, there's the front side, and then you get
Yeah.
the back, and then you have your sides.
Do you have his
on
back or do you have
I'm
his
on your
front?
back like Yoda.
You're just talking about your what is it? Ratatouille?
Raccoonie.
Rakakuni.
That's a joke that you kids won't understand yet.
Yeah.
But your
But
kids
your
will.
kids are gonna love it.
But yeah, like I'm just looking to hit 1,000. If we hit even more, that's amazing.
How about 2,000?
But how about 100,000?
Dude, I want us to hit 1 million subscribers this year.
like I just want to
by
see
December.
that grow because
Yeah.
I think that's the last thing we haven't grown in a really long time, and I think the content that we'll put on there will have more videos and
Yeah.
like actual videos of us on there interviewing people. I think that would be great.
I agree.
Just to
100%. Yeah, so please make sure you're following us. You hit that like button and that notification bell and all those other YouTube jargon. Please do that. YouTube.com/the movie podcast. You could also go and look at all of our videos through the years and kind of see how we've evolved to who we are
You
right
can
now.
see me when I'm not there, and then you can see me when I started.
Yeah, and then you can see the decline.
No, it's uphill.
It's an uphill incline, right?
Yes.
I'll
Yes,
say
yes.
I'll say yes to you.
I just want to shout out a couple of nice comments that we got from some of our lovely, lovely listeners. This one says, always feels like I'm eavesdropping on a conversation between some really cool friends. They always know exactly what we're looking to hear in terms of history, lore, or predictions, etc. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to if I want to stay updated and impress some cinephiles. We have another one that came in through our lovely email address. This is from James by the Glass. This is in regard to our Coda review. First time listener, but I'll make it a habit. Clearly, you are versed and knowledgeable about movies, but also come at it from an open love of the medium. It was like a conversation in a pub with show business friends. I'll be listening, but I'll be listening if I can, but also will put a deserved
You
5-star
okay?
rating. I'm struggling on this
Man,
one.
he wrote it in English too.
Yeah. I'll do it again. I'll be listening if I can, but also will put a deserved 5-star rating on Apple. Glad to have found your program.
You're reading it like Dr. Seuss for a little while. There.
I was, you know what it was? I was,
Cat in the Hat.
I removed punctuation when I copied and pasted this in.
You're like, I don't need
So I'm
these.
like, I don't know where the breaks are.
James by the Glass is breaking through the glass.
Yeah, he's breaking through the glass. Like he's like that 5-star review is now a 2-star review.
He's slamming onto that glass like he's Batman. Like, what have you done?
What have you done?
Why did you remove my punctuation?
So please, if you like what we're doing on the show, I promise I will read it better next time. Drop us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to, or don't forget, you could email us at hello@themoviepodcast.ca.
That was really sweet of you people. though.
Very sweet
I
of them.
really appreciate it. We've also had some great emails from other people too, and a lot of great suggestions that were thrown out.
Great
So,
suggestions, a lot of great comments and
Great
feedback that we're hopefully going to implement in the very near future.
We've been seeing a lot of comments on YouTube as well, so thank you to our YouTube commenters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are interesting. I don't know how to answer, but
YouTube
it's
comments
always
is
good to,
usually like a
like-
dark pit though.
Yeah, like
YouTube comments are fun, man.
it's like a interesting realm of people.
You know, it's fun because like we're always open to listening to feedback and to criticism and to comments and suggestions. But sometimes, you know, you'll get those comments that are not any of those things, and it's just either being vile or being dumb, and you know, that's just kind of that comes with the gig, you know. So we
Yeah.
kind of see those things and one in one ear and out the other.
Yeah,
you know?
nothing made me happier than when we pushed out our Dune review.
Yeah.
And we all said to go watch the movie because we really liked it. But the comments tore us apart because we didn't read the book.
Yeah. Or they would be
I
like,
gotta fucking read every book now before I watch a movie.
yeah, they're like, we're like, yeah, I really love Dune. Kill him right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I thought Dune was
what?
a great film. Well, you didn't appreciate it as much as I haven't appreciated it yet because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
And that was me talking to Daniel, actually. Not even about the comment.
Some quick announcements, some need to knows. We have some really cool interviews coming in the very near future. So I'm not saying who they are yet. So we're going to keep player cards close to our chest for now. But when they do get announced, make sure you're following us on all of our socials so you could see who we are going to be talking to. Look forward to that. Some new episodes out that you could listen to right now: Deep Water, X, Turning Red, The Batman. We also have our spoiler discussion for The Batman out right now, and our interview with Mike Marino, who's a prosthetic makeup designer on the film. Go check that out. Also, please go listen to our interview with Domi Shi, Lindsay Collins, and Maitri Ramakrishnan. We have a great discussion with them about Turning Red, which is a great film you can watch now on Disney Plus. Today, our topic of the show is all about our Oscar predictions. But until then, let's get into the news. That was good.
That was really
good.
I always like hold my breath a little bit after just to kind of like savor it.
Just to give it that that sound for it to breathe in the room, you know?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some Netflix news. Netflix will prompt subscribers to pay for outside use of their households in a new test to address unauthorized password sharing. This has come from Todd Spangler of Variety. Netflix will soon launch a test letting primary account holders pay an additional fee for users outside of their households, a new attempt by the company to address illicit password sharing. According to the Netflix terms of service, a customer's account may not be shared with individuals beyond your households. After years of turning a blind eye to password sharing behavior that falls outside that requirement, the company last year ran a limited test prompting users to enter their account credentials as a way to nudge freeloaders into paying for their own accounts. I remember we spoke about this last year on the show. Now, in an upcoming test launching in 3 countries, Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru, Netflix will let members who share their accounts with people outside of their households do so easily and securely while also paying a bit more. According to Chengi Long, Director of Product Innovation at Netflix, the new options will roll out in the next few weeks in the 3 countries and may or may not expand beyond those markets. Netflix ended 2021 with 221.8 million total paying subscribers worldwide. Of those, 75.2 million, 34% of the total, were in US and Canada. Now, you may be wondering, what is this amount extra you'll be paying? That was released as well, too. It works out to around $3 to $4 US extra. Now, Shay, I'm going to get you to open us up here. What do you think of Netflix kind of returning to this idea of password sharing? What do you think this is going to do to their business?
You know, it's interesting because every time Netflix raises its price, there's always that, you know, that joke that starts on Twitter, like, oh, I'm getting closer and closer to canceling Netflix. I think this is kind of like that cherry on top. You know, it's been well known that people, pass
Cherry on top
of just bad press for Netflix.
Oh, got you. Okay, I thought it was going to be like the straw that.
Well,
the
the straw that
thing.
broke the camel's back.
How does a straw break a camel's back?
Well, it's not a real straw.
No. It's like a straw of, I guess, hay.
Yeah.
Like there's so much on their back already that was the one that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like a drinking straw. That's what that's right.
They took all the plastic straws.
I knew it wasn't that straw.
Oh, okay, good. Anyways, now my thoughts are ruined because Anthony wanted an analogy explanation. No, I'm just kidding. You know, it's a weird thing because we're already paying so much money for 4K for Netflix and the ability to watch, I think, 4 people at one time, that now an added tax, it's just continuous added tax to a service right now that is relying primarily on original content. Netflix used to be the Blockbuster. You'd go there on, you know, to stream movies that you remember watching or you have seen before or that are coming out new to theaters and then straight to Netflix. Now it's all original content, and Netflix has a lot of original content, but not a lot of it is gold, or a lot of it is something that you need to keep a subscription for. So I'm really curious how people are going to react to this, because I think it's going to drive people further away from the company than it is closer to the company.
So you mentioned 2 big things there. The last point we're going to touch on, but the fact that we have to pay a higher price to stream in a higher quality is a very strange thing when no other streaming service like makes you do that. Right? Disney Plus doesn't make you do that. Prime Video doesn't make you do that. YouTube doesn't even make you do that, because you could easily see YouTube being like, well, that's something if you're part of YouTube Red, or you know what I mean? It's just this is the high quality is there because that's what's on the service, right? So it's strange that we already have to, as most people have 4K TVs now, I would say, would want to stream in the highest quality possible they can, have to pay extra for that. The last thing you said, that driving people away from Netflix is no longer the big kid on the playground anymore. You know what I mean? They have
They don't have the monopoly anymore.
They don't. They have the biggest subscribers worldwide, but Disney Plus is at 150, 160 million. And they're also opening up to having a lot more adult content on the platform. There is a lot of areas where different subscribers are going to be able to jump in here now and take advantage of this. Anthony, where are you at with this?
At one point Netflix was very innovative with what they were doing with their platform, but now it just seems like every single thing they want to add to it is some sort of money grab. Like looking at the different services out there, a lot of these services include multiple accounts. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You can be you can have one home here, maybe a cottage, and go and not have issues. Or maybe you are sharing it with a friend who maybe can't afford it or something like that. Or maybe you're just bundling together. I think at this point, instead of charging people more money, it might make sense to include three
households. Yeah, I was
or
gonna say
2 households.
Do you think we'll see a family account come out soon? Like, do you think Netflix will introduce that option at a higher tier price?
Oh God!
I don't think we're already paying
In Canada, like what, $24?
$24. I just got charged for it. It's 20. It's like 23 and change. Yeah,
that's wild.
So I think Miss Long might have to think of another innovative way of charging their customer base, because the more people who are charged, and it's strange that they chose Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru, because it doesn't seem like they're such a heavy usage of Netflix. Maybe I don't know. I don't live there, but
we don't have the data, but you would think it would be something like North America. They would,
or Europe,
even, but I think including different households, maybe 2 households, would be beneficial. I think that's the most people will do, and anything past that, then there will be an overage charge. But yeah, at this point, you're pushing your customer base to a point where they're either going to continue to pay or switch over to another service. And Apple and Prime and Paramount Plus and HBO Max are all looking for new subscribers.
Yeah.
And their content at times can be better.
They're making it easier to also subscribe to them too. They're throwing enough incentives out there. I think the problem in Netflix right now is they're just setting up so many different paywalls that by the time you get to the content you want, you're watching it and you're like, yeah, this was great, but I can't think of a lot of Netflix content right now, especially original content, that I feel like stands the test of time. I feel like a lot of the stuff is really in the moment and popular, and then after that it goes away.
Yeah, and I think that's just the problem with having the mass amount of original content being pumped out, right? You have a movie like The Adam Project that came out that we liked, kind of had its minute, and then it's gone, as a lot of movies do. But I feel like even just comparing to something theatrical, you could have an amazing Netflix film where I look at Stranger Things season 3, which we liked. Bird Box. But no one really that conversation doesn't continue as much with it because it's kind of on to the next thing, right? And Netflix as well, we're in a spot where there's just so much coming out that you're not really staying on top of it. Where if you do look at other streamers, it's a bit more limited to the original content, but at least the original content that they have coming feels a little bit more, I guess, known or looked forward to, right?
And Netflix really markets its content to I just, from seeing social media, a lot of younger people watch their content. It's not something my parents would gravitate to, because they only have Netflix because I have Netflix. They would have never signed up to Netflix. And now with inflation going up and so many things costing so much more, Netflix used to be good bang for your buck, but now it's becoming it's
the bang of your buck.
Let's steal the buck, because let's see how much we can put, whatever the market can bear. And that's essentially what they're doing. They're saying, well, we'll put it out there. We'll test it. Okay, let's see if it works here. They wouldn't complain. Let's keep going. But yeah, this is the point where you're going to get your customers resenting your service because you're just grabbing as much money as possible. When you have services like Disney Plus, where you pay for a year, you can have everything is in 4K HD. You have all their Disney content plus Disney Plus original content, as well as all their TV and movies from all their other purchases from their catalog. and you're still paying, and their numbers have grown in such a short time. Netflix, yes, they are the biggest streaming service, but it took them how many years to get there? Like
A long
13
time, yeah.
years, 14 years.
Yep.
Disney took like 3.
Yeah.
And we're
And
and
that's
yeah.
they
And it has
need
its
to
name as
recognize
well,
that.
but
Yeah.
still, like, it's still crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know we know what the future holds with a platform like Disney Plus, because we're getting the promise of all future Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, every other Disney film will be coming to this platform.
Yeah.
We also know that they're going to be making content for this platform. So we're going to be seeing shows like Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, everything. These are being made for this platform. These are shows that people are wanting to see, right? So it's just like we know what to expect. Where Netflix, we know they have their platform, their franchises, but look at something like Stranger Things, where it's been almost 4 years in between seasons, right? And there's a bunch of other shows, but a lot of times people just kind of gravitate to what they normally like to watch, and they'll put on The Office, Seinfeld, whatever.
One thing they might have to do, or they think of, is because a lot of all these other services, they all have other revenue coming from other sources.
Exactly.
So Netflix might have to think of another revenue. Disney has, their
Everything. Everything.
well, like,
Where do
they
you
have
bring it
their,
down to?
their
Yeah.
attractions, right?
Parks,
and stuff like-
attraction, everything.
maybe Netflix might have
Merchandise.
A Netflix theme park, is that what you're saying?
to. Why not?
Ride the Love is Blind roller coaster.
Sure.
You just can't see the person beside you, but you have to figure out if they love roller coasters or not.
If you're gonna create this brand and people really care about it, I think if you, for instance, do a Squid Game part of a theme park or
Oh
something
God.
like that, like,
Yeah.
but or Stranger Things, like where you
But
enter that.
is
Stranger
that
Things
but is
world.
I think Stranger Things, and we have seen the Stranger Things at Universal, right? We saw Universal, their Halloween thing
their Halloween
was
haunt
themed
thing
as
that they
Stranger
did.
Things. But are the Netflix, I guess, franchises like Squid Game, for example, one season, yes, it was a phenomenon, but is that going to be like lasting enough for a whole built-in attraction like Harry Potter World, or is it more something that they could do like, oh, there's a pop-up at the attraction this year and we make it Squid Game themed? But is that even enough money? That won't really generate revenue for them.
Netflix getting into more technology, and I think we discussed this before, but I still stand by it. I see them, if they were to get into any other side project, it would be technology.
Well, we know they do games now too.
Right, but like now something that could be almost like a set top box, even maybe, or just something along those lines that kind of like that breaks the medium, or maybe probably even not, but like that is the area I see them going into versus
They got into
a theme park.
video games, right?
They do video games.
Do they?
Yeah, they have video
Because they
games on
don't
their
market their video games.
No, it's something that I think they're going to start building up towards more. I think that will make sense for them at proper video games. I don't see Netflix doing a digital top box or whatever, because I'm like they're on every single one already.
No, I know.
So I'm just trying to think what would the benefit of them having
that's the
their
thing.
own be.
They would do something that is, oh, we didn't even think of that. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that okay,
Well,
sure, yeah.
It has to be movie experience. So something with.
You think they'll get into
virtual
VR?
VR, like where
Sure.
did you put on your Netflix box, head box,
Next box.
Next box,
whatever it is, and then you put this
Next box.
Netflix red helmet on your head,
Yeah.
and you're in a movie.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's something that I can kind of see them going
Yeah,
down into.
and we've
Is
seen
niche
them
technology.
do like with Bandersnatch as well too, right?
Yes.
Where
And
it's
then
like
they'll say, well,
choose your own
We
adventure.
need to charge you more because we have to get. The
We're
technology
funding this
out."
VR helmet.
Yeah.
Why?
All these movie stars, millions of dollars, so we can
Yeah.
get this
Yeah.
mediocre show or
or
mediocre movie out.
Yeah, and we know Netflix has a lot of big movies coming out this year, but we're waiting for them. We're waiting for those to come out. Last comment I want to ask you guys with this: ads on Netflix. Do you see Netflix? I mentioned earlier introducing a family membership. Do you see them ever introducing a tier with ads that will bring down the costs? But you have pre-rolls and you have mid-rolls.
You know what? I don't see them doing it, but I feel like I'm also horribly wrong. I feel like that'd be a great source of revenue for them, because there are people out there who are totally okay with just having a lower tier ad based account, and a lot of the streaming services do it too. And not only will they be getting money from the subscriber, but the ads will also be giving them money too. Yeah, it's a. I mean, I know Crave here in Canada has an account or a tier, that's $9.99, and it's mobile only. And I think that one is that one is wild for people to only pay $10 just to watch on the phone
Yeah, or an iPad.
Or an iPad.
or
yeah.
an iPad. Yeah, that to me is crazy,
Yeah.
paying $10 a month.
It reminded me of like when Apple announced the it's
Can you
Siri only Apple
can you
Music.
AirPlay?
I don't think you can.
You can't.
I don't
It
think you can.
literally says you can't remote it to another device.
Yeah. So I believe it's possible for Netflix to go down that road. I think if anything, they'll have more, success going down that road. But I don't know.
Like, I think that's a smart decision, especially because a lot of people are coming to a conclusion that I can't afford this and this, so maybe I can pay for a cheaper version of Netflix, which is $6.99, but with ads.
Do you ever see Netflix going down the route of, I probably not, because like they would want them to be on in their network. Do you ever see Netflix movies going to different platforms in the sense of them licensing out Netflix original content?
No.
I don't think so. I think that would, like, in their eyes, that would hurt their brand, because they want people to be part of that world, not someone else's.
Cool. Well, I was just curious because we see theatrical films making those deals. I'm just curious if we would ever see Netflix go down that route, which wouldn't make too much sense to do so. But again, crazier things have happened. Next news story: Jane Campion apologizes for thoughtless Serena and Venus Williams comment. I celebrate you. This is coming from Zach Sharf of Variety. Jane Campion is apologizing for a controversial comment she made about Serena and Venus Williams while accepting the Best Director prize at the 2022 Critics' Choice Awards. Campion took a moment during her speech to salute her fellow nominees, or the guys, as she calls them. Campion was the only female nominee, in the Best Director category. Campion said, "Venus and Serena, you're such marvels." Campion added, "However, you don't play against the guys like I do." The filmmaker said in a statement, "I made a thoughtless comment equating what I do in the film world with all that Serena Williams and Venus Williams have achieved. I did not intend to devalue these two legendary black women and world-class athletes." Campion continued, "The fact is, the Williams sisters have actually squared off against men on the court and off, and they have both raised the bar and opened doors for what is possible for women in this world. The last thing I would ever want to do is minimize remarkable women. I love Serena and Venus. Their accomplishments are titanic and inspiring. Serena and Venus, I apologize and completely celebrate you." So this, of course, garnered a lot of controversy last week. Got a lot of memes out of Serena and Venus's reactions to this. And this joke kind of went over like a lead balloon in the audience because people were just doing like that awkward laugh like, "Oh, okay."
What the hell did she say?
Anthony, thoughts on her apology and thoughts on her comment, which was...
Well, her comment was...
ridiculous.
Like...
absolute garbage.
Yeah, it was garbage. It was... like poor choice of words. I don't know why she went. Like, it would have made more sense to go against her the men directors in her category, right?
You would think
like
so.
She clearly looked at Venus and Serena and like made a point that
to belittle them.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, I just don't understand why you're saying these things right now. Why just accept your award, say thank you everyone, and then like just move on.
Go away.
Joe Pesci it. Like, thank you very much, Tanana, and then get off stage.
Like, yeah, it's, and I find her apology. I find her apology pretty like weak, and like it just felt like she was forced to apologize. I think if the world didn't get to the point of where they were like really looking at her differently, she would have not apologized. I think she meant what she said, and she was very concise when she said it. She knew what she was saying because she didn't stumble. She didn't say she was like almost like she was on a power trip up there. Like, let me bring down these two, even though these two are Wimbledon champions. Like they're the world's greatest tennis stars ever in women's tennis and even in all of tennis
and all of sports. And really,
you were just shitting on them because you had to fight off against men, and I get that, but like, don't shit on other people.
Don't shit on other women.
Yeah, don't shit on other women. Don't bring down two black women who you have no idea what it took for them to get to where they are. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're coming at attacking them. There was no other purpose in her speech other than to bring two people down and to compare herself to them and say, I'm better than you. At the end of the day, that is what her comment said is, I'm better than you.
It almost was like this competition between her and Serena. Like the way she positioned it, it was almost like she was saying, look at what I can do and what you can't do.
Exactly.
It's like, you can't win all the awards tennis wise and film wise. I'm gonna win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt weird, and it just felt
very weird.
Did something happen on the way in? Like, did she?
I don't know.
Brush up against them, and then they said, "Oh, watch out, Jane." And she's like, "Oh, fuck you! I'm gonna say a comment up there." What I don't know what accent that was. By the way.
Was that New Zealand accent?
That was my Jane Campion.
Okay, Shay, where are you with this?
It's disgusting. When she said it, I was like, "What is the point of this?" Like, I couldn't understand why she had to come after them, or why come after anybody. Why not just be grateful for winning an award, instead of talking about how difficult of a process it's been. There's times to have those kind of conversations, but right now, be grateful. Talk about the film that you made. You made a film that is also, in a way, about overcoming things. You have a gay cowboy film, about a film from, like, technically it's taking place in the 1800s, I guess.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about that difficulty that you have, like, but why bring up Venus and Serena? Like, they're out there just, like, sitting there going, who the fuck is this old white lady?
Yeah, like,
literally, because it was so, like, you understand, like Black Lives Matter changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's like she was living under the rock, and when she, like, targeted them, it just made her into, like, this racist person.
Yeah. Like, she could have literally just said, Venus and Serena, you're marvels.
Yeah.
And then
end it.
on.
But I compete against the men. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Venus
that
and
was
Serena,
so stupid.
Venus and Serena did not only compete against men, they competed against the world. They competed against their own color. Like, that's, like, they had to go through so much. You can never compare yourself to them, Jane Campion. You've already won an Oscar. So why the fuck are you up there still fighting?
Did she?
No.
For the piano.
Did she win for piano?
Well, then the movie win Best Picture?
The movie won Best Picture?
I don't know if the movie won Best Picture.
All right, well, I mean, it did get
we know
She got
at least
Oscar nominated.
it was
for
nominated,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, and Anna Paquin walked away with
Yeah,
the award.
and also, like, Power of the Dog's been winning a bunch of awards, so you're fine. Like, why are you doing this here? You know what I mean? But I wonder, again, when we're gonna get to our Oscar predictions later.
Yeah.
Is this going to come back to bite her next week? Because the Oscar nominations opened up after this speech happened.
This, like, I think,
Is this going to screw her over?
I don't know. I don't know if it might. Like, the way she presented herself was like she never won anything in her life, and it like, it was a struggle, but she didn't really voice it in that way, and I think she came off really, really horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And
So
I think
awful.
that might affect her Oscar nomination. Like, people might look at it, because now Oscars are pretty diverse. They're not as diverse as we want them to be, but there's more there's
representation
more
and diversity than we've
in
ever
that-
seen.
in that group. So that might come back and bite her in the white butt.
And, like,
The white butt.
I'm choosing my words carefully here, but as much as I hated Jane Campion's comments and whatever her thoughts were, but, like, I still hope that the Academy would look at the films and try to forget about that comment, even still. I know that that can be very picky to say. Not that I'm looking for Power of the Dog to win, because that's not the film that I'm going for, but just still view the film, because I don't want them to then give an award to another movie because they were like, oh, we would have given it to Power of the Dog, but now we're upset.
Well, I
give it based on the content and the quality of the film.
I 100% agree with you, but the Oscars are not known for doing that.
No,
so I'm not holding
I agree.
any...
I absolutely agree with you.
Because, we look at, like, obviously with James Franco and what happened with, like, different scenario for sure, but the fact that he wasn't nominated, after all, he was winning the awards, and then the sexual allegations came out, so we know that. Also, just in the past with the way they award people legacy awards, where they should have won for the movies that they were nominated for before, where we're going to see them win now. So we'll see. It's going to be a really interesting Oscars year.
So she did win for the piano because she was a writer for the film, so she won Best Writing.
Nice.
So she has an Oscar already. So move on.
Yeah.
I guess, like, at that point, like, when you have, like, a 20-year-old Oscar, you want a new one.
Yeah, she was
30-year-old, I guess, technically, right?
30. Oh yeah, 30-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my math is
It's
wrong.
okay.
No, it's okay. I would have said 20 as well. I would have said 20.
Last news story this week, same-sex kiss restored in Pixar's Lightyear following staff uproar over Don't Say Gay bill. This is coming from Adam B. Very of Variety. On March 9th, LGBTQ employees and allies at Pixar Animation Studios sent a joint statement to the Walt Disney Company leadership claiming that Disney executives had actively censored overtly gay affection in its feature films. The stunning allegation, made as part of a larger protest over the company's lack of public response to Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, did not include which Pixar films had weathered the censorship, nor which specific creative decisions were cut or altered. According to a source close to the production, Pixar's next feature film, Lightyear, starring Chris Evans as the real-life inspiration for the Toy Story character Buzz Lightyear, does feature a significant female character, Hawthorne, voiced by Uzo Aduba, who is in a meaningful relationship with another woman. While the fact of the relationship was never in question at the studio, a kiss between the characters had been cut from the film. Following the uproar surrounding Pixar employees' statement and Disney CEO Bob Chapek's handling of the Don't Say Gay bill, however, the kiss was reinstated into the movie last week. The decision marks a possible major turning point for the LGBTQ representation, not just in Pixar films, but in feature animation in general, which has remained steadfastly circumspect about depicting same-sex affection in any meaningful lights. So there was a lot going on with Disney in the last couple weeks with this Florida bill and all of that.
What a wild bill.
There's things that there's some bills that get passed and introduced that you really wonder, I'm like, what year are we living in? You know what I mean? Like there's some
Florida?
things, you know?
Florida is like literally like
its own planet.
It's like its own planet.
It's wild. I saw a post on Reddit this week where there was a store having that there was a discount for teachers to buy flamethrower,
Yes.
and they're like, "Could you guess what state I'm in?" I'm like, and
You guys ever played the Florida Man game?
Oh yeah, when you type in your name and you say Florida
no,
Man.
you just type in your birthday.
Birthday, that's it.
Birthday. Yeah, I looked up you guys. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I never played that.
I think mine was like an alligator killed somebody.
Yeah, something like that.
I remember that.
Yeah, yours was interesting too.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Really?
world.
Was it?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Is it a serial killer?
Let's just say, I think it's you. Just kidding. No, we'll get to it later.
But yeah, it's just at the end of the day, when it comes to you supporting your creators, support your creators' vision. Don't censor their vision. Let them tell the stories that they want to tell. Mm-hmm. Because when you censor that, people are just going to find other places to tell their stories and go to companies and studios that will hopefully let them do that without any barriers. It's the year 2022. Like how less can you ask of somebody? Like this is like the bare minimum of what we could do to support people in the world. You know what I mean? Which is just wild to me.
think he might have come across it as like a money thing too. It's like, if I introduce, who I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for a same-sex kiss in an animated feature. Like that's not Disney, Like I think there's a lot of what are they, the shareholders as well as people who are very conservative and they don't want to have their kids see that. So that's probably another lane that he was kind of looking at, but I think again, this is another situation where you come out apologizing, but again, it's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah, you're only apologizing because you've been put on the hot seat, right?
You didn't think before you said anything or did anything. You didn't think like, let me really make my decision and see if this is the right thing to do. Like he didn't connect with those groups in his studio. Mm-hmm. He didn't ask, what do you think? Like, you're making this decision. We know Chapek is not the greatest.
He's not been killing it.
Since getting into Disney, he's not been killing it.
We saw that article today coming out. And it's funny, too, because, I mean, like, we're also... you're following somebody like Bob Iger. Sorry, the CNBC article that we were talking about. You're following Bob Iger, who you never really heard anything bad about him in the Hollywood world. Actors loved working with him. Studios loved working with him. He acquired Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Fox. Like he is going to go down in history as probably one of the most influential and most like successful CEOs and not just Disney, but in history. So you also have somebody who's following that up with a very kind of radical, different approach to things.
It's like another Michael Eisner kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Like it really feels like history's repeating itself. Now, while Michael Eisner, really was around for that Disney Renaissance, there's still a lot of missteps that he took. It feels like Chapek right now is coasting off the successes of Bob Iger.
Of what was put in place before.
Exactly, but everything that he is trying to do or anything that his hands are touching are not turning to gold.
Right.
Nope.
So yeah, we shall see, and we'll obviously keep close eye on this, and hopefully going forward, it's only going to be hopefully easier for studios and for Pixar and for other companies within Disney to tell the stories that they want to tell without the censorship of appeasing a board or a CEO or anything like that. Some quick updates before we move on with the rest of the show today. Christopher Lloyd joins The Mandalorian Season 3. True Detective Season 4 in the works at HBO with Barry Jenkins. Scream 6 will release on March 31st, 2023, so not too long of a wait for that, which we were kind of predicting, right?
I was predicting. You guys were like, no, it's going to be later. I'm like, all right,
I don't know,
we'll
man.
see.
I think we were
I
saying...
said March 31st,
I think we said January, February.
I said January.
I said the
Interesting.
exact
You said you
date.
think it's going to be that soon? And I'm like, yeah, I think
We'll have to
it'll
go
be
back to the
pretty
tapes.
quick.
I feel like
We'll
I
have to
said
go back to
March.
the tapes.
I
I'm
feel
pretty
like I
sure
said March.
Shay said 2033.
Yeah, that sounds like something Shay would
That's
say.
something that I would say.
Yeah, you would say that.
Yeah.
Euphoria's
I'm
Sydney
like, guys,
Sweeney
it took that long to make a movie.
to co-star opposite Dakota Johnson in Sony's Marvel pick Madam Web. Any predictions on who she's playing?
I can see her playing like a Felicia Hardy or
Gwen Stacy?
Gwen Stacy, maybe even.
I don't know. I don't know what this. Like, I don't know what.
I don't know.
Like,
It's
I
so
don't
weird.
know what the movie is going to be about.
Yeah.
Like those characters, yes, they're in the Spider-Man world, but they don't relate to Madam Web.
She could be playing student number 1 for all we know.
But I
possible.
like Sydney Sweeney is not the most like powerful actress yet. Like she's not there yet.
She's a good actress though.
She's getting there.
She's up and coming.
So I don't know if this is going to be a big role or a smaller role or. But
I think she's getting big enough now. Like her success off of White Lotus and Euphoria are really propelling her.
But is she a movie star yet?
yeah, that's
well,
what I'm saying.
We're about to
Like,
find out.
Yeah.
She's a social media star because social media loves her. And
Yeah.
that's her portrayal in a lot of
But she's also is a
teenagers.
good actress though. She is a good actress.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So she's making the jump now like Zendaya did, right? Because Zendaya went from shows and then went to the movie world and is now doing
If I
well in
was
the movie world.
comparing the two, Zendaya
Yeah.
is like a friggin' like she's a god.
Oh, you know,
in
I'm saying
terms
she's
of
going the Zendaya path in terms of
Yes.
going from TV shows and then now going to
to
films.
film.
To a
Yes.
Spider-Man film too.
Wow. Man.
But I'm just saying, like acting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Zendaya is just extremely gifted.
Yes,
Just, it's unreal how good of an actress she
and
is.
she's starring with
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson
Yeah.
and some other people. I forget.
Probably.
Yeah.
Ty West and Mia Goth already filmed secret prequel to A24 Slasher X, which Anthony and I really love. You can check out a review of it now. And we got some sad news last week with the passing of William Hurts.
Yeah.
We also had a bunch of news stories, articles come out as well too from things that have happened in the past with his sexual assault allegations as well too. So obviously we want to be mindful of that whenever we're discussing him. Obviously an incredible talent to the world, but clearly not someone who is without his faults and crimes too, right? So moving on, box office. We had a bunch of box office updates this week. Shay, do you want to share some of the highlights?
Oh, I can definitely share some of the highlights. I feel like I was going to do like a sports and answer thing, but I don't have it in me. So right now, the box office, the Batman is topping everything with 36 million.
Hell yeah.
It has become only the second film since 2019 to cross 300 million domestic. It's the third weekend for a WB film, and it's WB's 14th film to cross 300 million domestically. The film is 31 million away from topping Batman vs Superman and 35 million away from topping Joker and Aquaman. Of course, this is coming right now from Eric Davis of Fandango. Spider-Man No Way Home, still going strong. I don't understand it. It's available at home now, but the film grossed around 3.2 million this weekend, and it's close to 800 million right now. It's about 3 million away from 800 million, which would make it basically the third film to ever cross that domestically.
Unreal.
Next to Endgame and Force Awakens. And then Tom Holland's Tom Holland's Uncharted is now at 125 million, and that's his highest grossing film that isn't MCU, and it's higher than Dune, Godzilla vs. Kong, Free Guy, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Jungle Cruise from last year.
And this is all domestically too, right?
All domestically.
Crazy. So yeah, some interesting news happening at the box office. But let's get to some trailers. We got a bunch of trailers this week. We're going to go through the list, and then we could talk about the ones that we want to kind of stop on. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, we got another trailer for, which I feel like we've been getting nonstop.
Should be the final trailer, I guess.
I would hope so, because it's coming out in like 3 weeks. We got our first look at Miss Marvel, which... I guess, do you want to stop and talk about this one? Or
talk
should
about
we?
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Looks awesome.
Very cool.
Looks really fun. Looks very young adult focused, which is nice. I think what Marvel does so well is kind of tailor their heroes and shows now into specific different genres now, which is cool to see. And I think Aman Vellani is looking like she's doing a great job as
I dug the music.
Kamal Khan,
I dug the style.
yeah.
I mean, hearing Blinding Lights is super cool, and seeing the animated effects were really wicked as also. Yeah.
it looks fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Cool.
There's not much to say until I watch it.
Yeah. So
the trailer was good.
June 8th, so we don't have to wait too long to watch it. We got to look at Memory Train. This is a Liam Neeson, Guy Pearce film. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. You guys like this trailer?
Yeah, it's cute.
I
It's
was
fun.
like, I didn't expect to think anything of it, but it's a very interesting storyline. I really dug that they chose this path.
Like
It's
the
really
9
cool.
lives.
The
He
9
only has
lives,
one
yeah.
life left because
Yeah.
he's died so many times.
Because it's cute enough to be like it almost, and stick with me here, that way of telling a story is almost so Disney Pixar, because typically DreamWorks animated films, they kind of go down the most low hanging fruit path, like Puss has got to save somebody.
Yeah.
That's the story.
This is like, oh, you're taking something of a concept that we understand,
Yeah.
Cats Have 9 Lives, and actually
And kind
applying
of
it
just
now.
giving it a little bit more of an existential look at it, and I was like, oh, that's really smart. That's funny. I like the idea.
We have a trailer for Watcher, which was a Sundance film. The Penitaverte. This is the Mike Myers Netflix show where he's playing a bunch of different characters in it. Interesting. Mike Myers has had such an interesting career in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
He shows up in most random things. Tokyo Vice. This is Ansel Elgort and Ken Watanabe. It's going to be an HBO Max original show. It looks pretty cool.
Directed by
Michael Mann or Destin Daniel Cretton, who did
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, it reminds me of remember the movie Rising Sun with Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery. There's also the other one with Andy Garcia and Michael Douglas. Any crime story that takes place in Japan, I'm down for.
Yeah.
Does this take place in the 90s?
I don't know.
I don't know. I
didn't get that vibe.
I didn't get that vibe either. I think it feels like something in modern times. but
Yeah.
First shot of the trailer, just on a cell phone. Okay, it's modern.
It just
There you go.
looks very Michael Mann. I know he's
does look very
that's why
producing
that's
it.
why I was thinking, because like Tokyo in the 90s, I mean that'd be very cool to
Yeah,
see.
very like Miami Vice and Tokyo Vice.
We Own the City, John Bernthal. This is an HBO original series about some crooked cops in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Looks interesting. Looks, again, anything with John Bernthal, I'm in. We got a new look, or I guess our first look at Barry season 3,
Yeah.
which is coming out next month
Pretty
as
quick
well.
trailer. It certainly teases all around. Because remember season 2, how it ended, and almost like the cat's out of the bag. But is it? We don't know.
But is it though?
I love Barry. I think
it's a
his
show.
balance between comedy and serious darkness, and as well as action. Probably the best TV series best TV episode I've ever watched was that episode with
season
2 where Barry has that interaction with the
the
karate guy.
family.
Oh my
the daughter.
gosh!
Yeah.
Yes, the karate family.
What a brilliant episode.
Unexpected, super spontaneous, really, really good.
So we won't have too long to wait for that. So we have about a month away to watch that. We had a look at a Hulu original series. Sorry, a Hulu original series. Yeah. In my head, I
what's wrong
said
with
like a true crime series. I'm like, oh no. Candy was starring Jessica Biel.
Right.
And on the video game side, we got our really long look at Hogwarts Legacy, which looks like the dream Harry Potter game that we've ever wanted to see.
Yeah.
Right? Looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I really dug that trailer. It felt epic. It felt like this is if I, imagine playing a Harry Potter game, that's how I imagine it would
Yeah,
look like.
it looks like a lot of love and
Yeah.
care was put into it by Avalanche. So
And Portkey Games.
Porky Games. So
You can
fingers crossed.
abracadabra people.
You
I'm
can
sorry, what did you just say?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra?
Whatever.
Avada Kedavra.
Avada-kedavra.
Avada.
Kedavra. Oh, Anthony's dead.
Dude, I would Avada Kedavra you.
Dude, I'm gonna use my mic right now as a wand to
For
Avada-kedavra
like
you.
day one school. Hey Shay. Hey
Yeah.
Anthony.
We're meeting online. Badoom. That's the sound, eh? You're gonna miss.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss.
No, I went in the future and I hit you from behind as well.
Oh, you got all my sides. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I'd be like whispering in both of your ears, just like talking shit about the other person. Like, yeah, Shay thinks you
And
can't
then
do
I'd
it.
take my
Yo,
wand.
yeah,
and just
Anthony,
stab it
she
in
does-
the
yeah,
damn
Here's the thing.
just gaslighting both of you.
You know, it is a school. Do you know, have girlfriends in this? You know, boyfriends.
Are you asking me right now?
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think
Do you think there'll be
Do you
relationships
think it'll
in this
be
game?
like Euphoria?
Damn.
Euphoria High at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I don't know if there'll be relationships. I honestly don't know. I don't think
I don't know.
I don't think there will be, but
Are you
I'm down for
lonely,
everything.
Anthony? What's going on?
No,
Where
I'm
did that
just saying.
come from?
I'm just thinking like I want this to be
Ladies
a
of-
rated R Hogwarts
But it's Harry Potter though.
Harry Potter storyline. Like I want to be
horny
the-
Harry Potter is what you want.
Yeah, because
Horny
that's what
Potter?
kids
Horny
do
Potter.
nowadays
Wasn't that
in high
the-
school. They just
That was the porno. Ladies of the movie podcast, if you are looking to
I thought you were gonna
date
say
Anthony,
ladies of the night.
No, ladies of the night, ladies of the movie podcast.
We'll
Send
meet you in
Anthony a
Hogwarts
message.
Legacy later this year.
Slide into his DMs.
Out this week, we have Everything Everywhere All at Once, which you could hear a review for very soon. It's getting its US release, and it's also getting a limited release here in Canada, I believe, this week. It's going to be playing everywhere on April 1st. The Lost City, which we'll also have a review for out this week. And the Halo series, which is premiering on the 24th. And let's get into our review of the Halo series. This is coming on Paramount Plus on March 24th. And I just want to say thank you to our friends at Paramount Plus for sending us the show for review. We got to watch the first 2 episodes of the show. For myself, I am a huge Halo fan. I have not played Halo Infinite yet. I do not have an Xbox yet. So you may be listening to this review of Halo and being like, I don't care what this guy says. He doesn't own the newest Xbox. His opinion is not valid. And you know what? That may be true.
No, that's stupid.
That's stupid.
Not even true.
That's
stupid.
not accurate at all. But I do have a love of Halo, especially for the first 4 games of the series. I've played the shit out of everything, and this show has been a show that we've been, I think, waiting for a long time because it's gone through so many
Years.
different iterations, different creators. Spielberg was announced to be, the one kind of shepherding this back in 2013, and then we had movies that were planned before. Then now we're here. With the show. The show was developed by Kyle Kellen and Stephen Kane, and it stars Pablo Schreiber as the Master Chief himself. Let's get into... So this is a bit of a different type of review for us. Let's get into our first reactions to the show and what your expectations were going into it. Shay, I'm going to get you to start us off.
We saw the first trailer, and it felt like the marketing was also really slow for this show as well. Like they took a long time to kind of build it up. And when we finally got that trailer, I was like, oh, this looks kind of like Sci-Fi Channel.
Sci-Fi Channel for sure.
Very like just early 2000s kind of sci-fi. But let's give it a shot. I know that the lore of Halo can be very dense sometimes, so let's take a look and see what it is. And right away, the show starts off with this like epic battle sequence, but it's so muddled in poor CGI, weird lighting, and just an overall set design that doesn't feel very alive. It just feels kind of like a set. And then the show continues to kind of move forward. And I think Pablo Schreiber is a very good actor. He's done some great things. I've seen him. I think he's in 999 and Orange Is the New Black, and he's great. But as Master Chief, I don't see it. I don't hear it. He looks like he sounds like he's trying to put on a very deep voice, and it doesn't really hit.
yeah. He spends a lot of time with his mask off.
And he spends a good majority of the first 2 episodes without a helmet on, which, I mean, Dredd is a character that, Carl Urban played, and that character was known for not taking off his helmet, and he committed to that, something that Sylvester Stallone didn't do in the original.
But also Dredd had the bottom half of his face showing. Did he not?
Sure, he had his,
Yeah.
he had like a cowl,
Yeah.
but still, he still didn't take off his helmet. That was the thing.
That was a commitment to it.
Master Chief, that's all we know about the character. He doesn't take off his helmet, and that's what creates that mystery. The show also then starts to move into the Mandalorian realm of, hey, we have this super powerful character. Let's give him a weak side character
to partner with yeah.
and run through the series. And it just felt cheap. It just felt like a regular sci-fi show with a Halo skin that they tried to pass off, and it didn't. The first episodes really didn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Shay. You know, as a big Halo fan, I think there was a lot of moments in the show that while I was watching, I'm like, hey, I recognize this, or that's cool. And then like seeing the weapons, I think Halo is known for having amazing weapons.
Yes.
And seeing that was really cool, and seeing like the Covenant and all those characters. But yeah, then you get to Master Chief, who does not have that commanding presence like Steve Downes does, the voice of Master Chief in the games. Yep. You have Pablo here who's doing his voice. It feels like you were saying, Shay, it feels like he's trying to sound intimidating, and it doesn't really work. And then when you kind of remove his helmet, you remove that mystery to him. He just kind of looks like a normal just guy in a suit,
yeah.
Right? And it's hard not to compare the show to Mandalorian, because Mandalorian, what I think does so well is you feel the presence of Mando whatever scene he's in, right? You know that when he is looking at you, you almost see the emotion, even though he's wearing a helmet. You don't really get this in this show, you know, because they're relying on him taking off his helmet. And yes, for the story reasons, I get why they're doing that. But with Mando, you feel like this is a super powerful being who's doing everything he can to save people, where this kind of just falls into generic kind of sci-fi world. And yeah, you know, the Halo world does have elements of that in their stories, where it just feels like, okay, we're these Marines who are doing this thing, and it kind of it's not really super established. There's lots of novels and stuff that you could read if you're really big into the lore of Halo. Definitely there's a lot out there, but when you're going to a show, you kind of want something that's kicking you off right away. And you made a great point, Shay, that you said this kind of reminds you of like a 2000s sci-fi show, and it reminded me of that too, especially when you had moments where it goes into first person. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this feels like we don't know how to make a game adaptation of this, so we have to show you something that you recognize. Like, I think, like, was it Gamer? Was it Gamer
did that, and also
Doom, where it's like, oh, here's a first person moment, where it's like we're showing you that because that's what you know from the game. But yeah, there's definitely some rougher looking CG characters in this, you know,
and, like, see, because Halo is such a world and heavily relying on CG. When you have CG that's not good, it breaks.
It stands out for sure. The weight of the characters feels different. It doesn't feel like they're a threat. You know what I mean?
And I have a lot of friends who were working on Halo, and they were going through tons of like stress to get this show out. And it just, like, you can see it. You can see it in the CG. That's just like, yeah, there's some good parts, and then a lot of it is not so good.
Right. And again, we know when it comes to CG, so much of it comes down to the timing of it, the budget. It's always like what they have time to do and what's kind of the time that's allotted to them, right?
And that's what it feels like. This feels like this production was rushed out to get it out, just so we can get viewers and they don't forget about it, you know? But I don't like. No. I'm on the same boat with you guys. Like, it feels like something that a fan made.
Yeah,
you know.
I think I mentioned that. I'm like, it's like something you'd see on YouTube.
Yeah. Which is interesting too, because when we look at, the creators behind the show, they also had that quote saying, "We didn't look at the games. We didn't look at those characters. They wanted to focus more on telling their own thing," which I get.
First red flag.
But it's also like we're in a weird place when it comes to video game adaptations, where it's just like, just make something that's true to the source material. Yeah. You know, look, the games should be the first place you look at.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And hopefully they're taking those comments out of context from what we've seen from the Variety article, but it's definitely strange. Let's get to our final recommendations for the Halo series. So the first episode's coming out this week on Paramount Plus, which is here in Canada as well. Shay, start us off.
I think if you're an Xbox Games Pass Ultimate subscriber, you get
30 days. Yeah,
30 days of free Paramount Plus.
I thought you were making that up. I'm like,
no, I'm being serious.
It sounded like a joke at first.
I know,
but it's true.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's silliness. Skip it. I can't. I think if you want to watch Halo, watch yourself play the game.
Right, just open up Twitch.
Watch Halo, because there's no good storytelling, not really good acting. No one really feels memorable. Like, I was forgetting it as I was watching it.
Got you, Anthony. How about yourself?
If you're a Halo fan, this, like, it's hard to say skip it. I would want a Halo fan to watch it so they
to
can
get their thoughts and opinions.
to get
on
their
it.
thoughts and opinion on it, because I think,
But they will. Halo fans will watch it.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And if you are a Halo fan, I want you to watch it. I don't know if it's going to be available in Canada.
It will be on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Here in Canada.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So yeah, through Paramount Plus, watch it. But this is not like, if you're just, oh, this Halo show looks cool, I would probably skip it, or maybe wait for the whole series to kind of come out and then watch it, because the first 2 episodes don't grip you at all. And for me, like, as I'm not a huge Halo fan, but I know the character and I know what he can do.
The character of Halo, yes.
Of Master Chief,
I'm kidding.
of
I'm
like
kidding.
the aliens and all that, the
Yeah.
lore, like, I just didn't find it interesting, and I think the creators went down a path that wasn't true to what we know of the video game.
It's funny because, this show, you could say like, oh, like if you're not a Halo fan, then you're not going to like it. Well, no, because this is a television show. This is a different medium now. Just the same reason why, like, oh, if you didn't like the movie because you didn't like the book. No, these are different mediums. You cannot judge this show based on your love or hate of the video games, but you can judge it on if it's a good show or not. And what made this a better show is, I think, maybe sticking more to what made the game so special. For myself, like what Anthony said, if you're a Halo fan, and like what Shay said, if you have Game Pass, see and watch it to get your opinion on it. But if I'm recommending this to general audiences, I wouldn't recommend the show to general audiences like I would Mandalorian, where Mandalorian crossed those boundaries of Star Wars. I guess I know it's still Star Wars, but it's a very different type of Star Wars. And that show was a phenomenon, and it broke kind of barriers for the fan bases of people coming in to watch Star Wars. I don't think Halo is going to do that. So for myself, like I said, if you're a Halo fan, look into it. But if not, I don't think there's much here for you anyway. So I would say skip it.
It's sorry, real quick. I just wanted to say that it's really interesting with the words, because I'm forgetting them now. What I was gonna say.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So now
you're just filling in space.
So now I'm saying
to
words
talk,
to really talk, and hopefully I'll get there. Oh yeah, I remember now. So
See, it works. It works.
I get that. Like a lot of people say, not every episode is gonna be a banger,
Right.
for a show like this. But when your first 2 episodes out of the gate are not gripping, that's not good. That's not a good sign. Like Book of Boba Fett, first couple episodes, not strong. Granted, the ones about the Mandalorian were good, but still the overall show, not great.
Right, but
Right.
Book of Boba Fett also was coasting on success
And that's
of
true.
Mando. So we knew this character, even though this is his own show, this is more of a 0.5 to the last season of Mando, right?
Whereas Halo, it just doesn't have a good footing.
Right, and I think, one of the issues too with the Halo characters within Halo, it's just the Spartans themselves. Their armor isn't really unique looking in the show. So you have Master Chief there, who obviously you could point out like that's Master Chief, but everyone else just kind of looks like person in suit, right? Or a CG, Covenant that they're fighting.
Right.
So, well, I'm curious to see where the show's going to go. The show
I
started
don't, like,
filming in 2019.
If you were expecting it to be like like something that's a slow start, that, like, for instance, Breaking Bad, the start is slow, but then like really got better as it went. This is not gonna. I don't have any faith in it being better than its first episode.
We know, like, with if you're expecting something that's like the cinematics from Halo, whereas like the Blur animated cinematics, like the animation studio Blur, this really isn't what this show is going to be. But again, if you're a Halo fan, there might be something here for you, or you may be even more offended by it. So if you're a huge Halo fan, please write into the show, hello@themoviepodcast.ca, not halo@themoviepodcast.ca.
That's true. We don't have that one yet.
We don't have that one. hello@themoviepodcast.ca. Write in, let us know what you think. And as with everything, there's lots of reviews to listen to here on the feed. Let's continue on with what we're watching. Shay, I'm going to get you to start us off.
Yeah, I put on Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because just love that movie. It was, I think it was a lazy Sunday after we were done recording, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna put on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Love that movie. I haven't watched WALL-E since theaters.
Wow, that's like 14 years ago, man.
Yeah. Again, I liked it, but it's a very different Pixar film. I don't know if people watch it all the time. Like it's one of those kind of films that comes on rotation. But I put it on and I had a great time with it. It was good to revisit. Great movie. I love it. We watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Our review is up for that.
This week. this week.
A review, it will be up for that. Sorry, yeah. My
Spoiler alert.
My timeline is so messed up, but yes, great film, loved it. Our review for Deepwater is up. I watched Halo, obviously, like I mentioned. Wellington Paranormal, which is on Crave. Luckily, I really love the Taika Waititi type of humor that's in the show. We've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5 because it just came out for next-gen consoles, so we've been having a lot of fun roaming the streets of Los Santos as the movie podcast, and handing out flyers for our show.
We do, right within the world of the game. We can do that.
Game, and another little show.
Yeah,
we watched a couple episodes of that. We'll have a review up soon.
Yeah.
And that show is...
We could say the name of the show.
You can say the name of the show?
Yeah.
Can I say it? Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight. We'll have a review up March 29th, so that is next Tuesday. You can look forward to our thoughts on that. Anthony, what did you watch this week?
Why are you laughing?
Because you put an emoji.
You put an emoji into the doc.
Absolutely. I'm continuing my Studio Ghibli watch. So I watched Kiki's Delivery Service, watched X, started Killing Eve Season 3, which is on Crave, Deepwater, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which there'll be a review for soon. Welcome to Earth, which Daniel kind of told me to watch, and I took his advice and I started watching it. I like the show. What I don't
hate Daniel. I know. I get it.
I don't want to like the things he does.
I love like nature stuff and just like things that have never been seen before.
Yeah, this is the Will Smith show.
It's a Will Smith show. I think it's too short. I wish it was a little bit longer. I also don't like because you focus on Will Smith and then at times they'll go to another person in another country. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish they just focused on one topic or one idea, or just focus on Will Smith because I think he's such a great, like,
charismatic lead and everything. Yeah.
So I wish he was part of all these things, but I understand the story that they were telling. They're telling about how it's like this overall story that relates to one thing that Will Smith is doing. But visually, it's fantastic. Like probably some of the best nature content that you can watch.
It's pretty cool, right?
There's like a sequence where this guy is going up a cliff and there's like these bees and they have like this radar that's invisible, but like when you put your hand very close to them, they all like
they shudder
like in unison, like almost like
a defense mechanism, right?
Yeah, like crazy. And these bees are huge honeybees.
Yeah,
but like they're off this cliff in Nepal or somewhere, and it's just fantastic to see.
Yeah. It looks like they're all doing the wave.
How do you know how to like be so accurate, you know?
It's crazy. It's nature is wild, man. Nature is wild.
Now I'm on like a shark episode. I haven't finished it, but liking that. Watched Halo. You know my review for it. And I've also played Grand Theft Auto 5.
For myself, watched Spider-Man No Way Home because it was released at home to watch this week, but clearly it's still killing it at the box office.
Watched it in theaters. That's your fault.
We should have. We should have just gone to watch there. Everything Everywhere All at Once, we will have a review out this week. Deepwater, we have a review out. Moon Knight, we will have our review out. Halo, we just spoke about, and like Shay and Anthony mentioned, been having a great time with Grand Theft Auto 5, revisiting that story, and then of course playing online with you fine gentlemen has been a lot of fun.
It's amazing. I haven't gone back to that game since I think was it 2015.
2015,
when I was looking at it.
It was still newish then.
Yeah, and yeah, it's so amazing to watch it play it on a PS5 to 60 frames per second and play with you guys, which is fun. And like you're telling me all the things that you could do. You showed me the Fast and the Furious flipper car. Like
the ramp buggy.
Oh my gosh. It's so much fun.
We show you more of our stuff. We haven't even shown you the icebergs that we have yet.
Yeah, like we
icebergs?
have... Not really icebergs.
The yachts? Yeah, the yacht, yeah.
Dude, I have like this one car and I
bought like a Ford Miata, I think, too.
No, man. It's a Shelby, like it's like a GT Cobra, but it's like a Le Mans version. It's like sticker. I spent all my money on that car.
Nice. Do you regret it?
I wish it was faster.
Yeah.
He doesn't have money to soup it up now.
Yeah.
But let's get into our topic of the show. We are doing our Oscar predictions. This is a yearly tradition now that we've been doing as the Oscars are happening.
I'm not confident in this year's predictions.
I won last year.
Did you win last year?
Last year? I thought I won.
No, I won. I still have.
Maybe Anthony won. I think you won the year before, and I won 2019.
I don't think you won yet.
Yeah, I think I won 2019.
No, I think I did.
And then you won
That was the year-
2020,
that was-
and then
that's
Anthony
right,
won
I
2021.
You're right, I
Yeah.
won 2020.
So we
I think
all
we,
have
I think
championships.
we all have championships.
we all have
now.
rings.
Yeah, this year I don't care if I win or
Guys,
lose this
I'm
year.
playing to lose this year.
Yeah.
I'm
It feels
playing
like
to
it.
lose.
Here's the thing: Are we basing it off
Okay.
our or
Mind versus heart, Anthony. Who do you want to win, or who do you think is going to win? That is what you need to decide.
Yeah.
Are you
No.
playing your heart? Or are you playing your mind?
Or are you playing with your balls?
I don't want to play with my balls.
Are you playing to win, or are you playing to have a good time?
Whoa.
Well,
There's
what are we
that balls
winning?
question again.
Are we
See?
winning anything?
I don't know.
No, we don't win anything. We just win.
We win an Oscar.
It's glory, right? It's glory.
It's all
within
for
the group.
glory.
Glory within
Yeah.
the group.
Do you want to win, or do you want to have a good time? You have to
Maybe
choose.
you'll get some movie podcast merchandise.
Maybe. Maybe we're wearing some right now. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We are.
I get a free T-shirt
You get a free mug.
that I paid for.
spelt wrong.
So what we're going to do here, we'll go through the different categories. Let's leave Best Picture, obviously, for the end. But we'll work our way across the top here, and we'll go down. So we'll start with actor in a leading role. We're going to start with the leading role right away. We have Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, or Denzel Washington for Tragedy of Macbeth.
See, for me right now, it's kind of like Garfield, Smith, or Cumberbatch.
So what's your heart telling you? What's your mind telling you?
My heart is saying Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom.
Got you.
But my mind is saying Will Smith because he won, was it the BAFTA?
He won the BAFTA.
He's won pretty much everything.
He's won a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
For myself, I wouldn't be upset if it went to Andrew Garfield. I would love, because I love Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
But I think this is the year Will Smith will win his Oscar.
I think so too.
I'm going with Will Smith too.
I had it.
Will Smith the second? Will Smith, Jaden's on here. Let's go to actor in a supporting role. We have, Clarin Hines from Belfast, Troy Kutzer for Coda, Jesse Plemons, Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, and Cody Schmidt-McPhee for The Power of the Dog. For me, this is all Coda all the way.
Yeah, this is Troy Kutzer's year. He's been doing great so far in terms of his other nominations. So yeah, I'm going to Troy.
Anthony, how about yourself?
I'm also with Troy. He's pretty much won all his awards, so I'm basing it off of that.
Yeah,
like
that's
just
fair.
like,
And also, I feel like my heart and my mind are saying
like
it's Troy.
my heart and my mind don't go to any of these.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
My heart doesn't go to any of these. I don't know. It's just it's been a weak
That's
year.
so mean.
I
Coda's great.
I
though.
like Troy. He was fantastic. I just again I don't remember his performance. Like it just
I'm surprised. Again, I love J.K. Simmons. I'm surprised he's on this list
Yeah.
because his performance wasn't really anything. It was J.K. Simmons. And
And I think Cody Smith-McPhee is actually nominated for X-Men as
okay,
Nightcrawler.
interesting.
he was Nightcrawler.
He was Nightcrawler, yeah, in the
Was it
Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
and
Kind of looks like
Days of Future Past?
kind of looks
Yeah.
Nightcrawler-ish. Yeah.
Actress in a leading role, we have Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman, Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart Spencer. Now, if you were to ask me this in September, Kristen Stewart easily. But now I'm
But
not
she's
so
been
sure.
getting a lot of disregard for her performance,
Which is wild to me.
which is wild. I think her performance out of all these right now is the best. But I haven't been keeping up. Like, who has been winning so far? Has it been Olivia Colman? Has it been Penelope Cruz?
I've been seeing Jessica Chastain a couple times too.
You've been seeing Jessica. What have you seen?
I think Jessica Chastain won the
Jessica
BAFTA.
Chastain. I've seen Jessica Chastain the most, but then again, I know Kristen Stewart won one, right?
So now this is again classic situation: head versus heart. Who do you want to win? I want Kristen to
I'm
win.
going to put Kristen down because I want her to win, and if I lose this category, I'm okay with that.
Okay, Anthony, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go with Jessica Chastain. I'm going to choose, the popular vote and go with her performance. Even though, I loved Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana, but I just feel like
They're gonna disregard her.
The tides are turning right now.
I don't
yeah.
know why. I don't know if it's because there's some sort of conspiracy against her, but there's things that have kind of put in motion that I don't expect her to win.
No, I agree. I don't expect her to win either. I'm expecting Jessica Chastain to win, but in this one, it would make me really happy if Kristen Stewart did win. That's why. So
I'm gonna
okay
roll the
with it.
dice on Kristen on this one, even though I have a feeling it's going to be Jessica Chastain. So I think Anthony's going to
we're
get
in the
that.
same boat here.
I think Anthony's going to get
And
this
I
one.
might lose. You never know.
Your
That's
boat
the
could
thing. Like,
sink.
with the Oscars, I know sometimes it's a shoe-in, but like a lot of times it could be like Moonlight, where it's just we didn't expect.
We didn't expect it. Actress in a supporting role. We have Jessie. Is that Jessie? Sorry.
Yeah, Jessie Buckley.
Sorry, I just couldn't see if that was an I or an L. Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kristen Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Ingenue Ellis for King Richard. For me, Ariana DeBose.
Yeah.
All the
She's
way,
been,
baby.
She's been killing it as well. But this is also a category where I can totally see Kristen Dunst getting an award as
Yeah.
well. I can totally see it.
You
but,
could see it.
But I think Ariana's kind of got this one.
Anthony, same thing.
Yeah, Ariana.
Animated feature film. This is an interesting one this year.
Oh, man.
We have Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon.
I'm giving it to Mitchells vs. the Machines here. I think this movie deserves it wholeheartedly. I love Flea, obviously. We loved Encanto, Luca, Raya and the Last Dragon, but the Mitchells vs. the Machines was an absolute delight, and I think it was on so many people's top 10 of last year.
Is Encanto spelled wrong on this?
Nope.
Encanto.
Encanto.
Yeah,
Oh, I think it's just because it bleeds together so
Oh, okay.
close on mine. So it looks like it says
an O.
N-O. It's
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah.
Encanto.
The font on this ballot here is a little tiny, but yeah, I think.
So you're going Mitchells vs.
I'm gonna
Machines?
give it to Mitchells.
This one is it's hard for me. It's like Mitchells versus the Machines, Luca, or Flea. And I think Flea, of all the animated films I watched, was probably the most powerful one that really.
But it's also nominated for international feature film, so do remember that.
I know. It's
And also documentary feature.
yeah, it could win all three.
It could win all three.
You know, this is usually the Disney category, but we also have the Mitchells vs. Machines, which I think has been getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
And a lot of love because it's coming off the Spider-Verse team as well, too.
You know,
which
we-
won Best Picture, Best Animated Picture.
We interviewed the director,
Mike
of-
Rianda.
Mike Rianda, and I think I'm going to pay respect to that and that episode, and I will probably vote for the Mitchells. I will vote for.
He also did tell us, like, hey guys, I already won the Oscar. but
Yeah, just don't tell
I
anyone.
do
Can't
want
say
Luca to
anything
win,
yet.
though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no one watched Luca, okay?
Everyone watched Luca. I'm telling you, more people watched
I'm just
Luca
kidding.
than Mitchells.
Hell no, that's not true.
100%.
No.
Luca was the talk of the summer. Everyone was fucking.
It was the summer of Luca, man. Are you
Was
what
it
are you
the
talking
Talk of the Summer?
about? I
It
don't
was.
remember.
I don't remember anyone
Mitchells and the
talking about
Machine
it.
was not the talk of any.
That was
Luca.
that was last year, last
Mitchells vs.
April.
Machine is still in the conversation.
Sure, man.
But here's the thing, though. If it's not, who do you think is going to win? So if it's not Mitchell's, I think it's going to go to Encanto.
Yes, if I were to pick a second one, it would be Encanto.
Encanto was so boring.
I watched Encanto recently. It was cute.
but it's like
It was okay.
boring.
Yeah, it wasn't like it didn't. It didn't make me go, "Wow, this is the next Disney." It's like, "Oh, that was
Yeah,
good."
but it's probably one of the most popular Disney films since Frozen.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Has it really?
Yeah. Dude, the soundtrack there hasn't been a soundtrack that has gone number one. Even Frozen didn't go number one. Encanto went number one, which is crazy. Crazy to think that. Encanto is super popular. So I wouldn't be surprised if Encanto wins Best Picture, but I'm putting my vote in for
I'm really hoping
Mitchell's.
for Mitchell's vs. Machines. It deserves it.
Cinematography. I guess they didn't want to put the names on this. Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. I'm going to go with Greg Fraser, I think, for Dune.
Me too.
Me too. It's either Dune or Power of the Dog,
Or West Side Story.
but
Or The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Or Nightmare Alley. Wait a minute.
That's all. That's not. Here's the thing. In this category, I wouldn't be surprised if it went to any one of these.
yeah.
But I think Dune was what we looked at last year, and we were like, "Holy shit!"
That looks bueno.
Yeah.
Costume design. Would you like me to?
Yeah, I would love for you to read that.
We have Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story.
I'm gonna go with Cruella on this one.
Me too.
I think it had phenomenal costume design.
Yeah.
It's also really the only thing it's kind of nominated for in the Oscars, and I think it deserves nominations.
It's that wild card for me in the
is.
sense of like with the Suicide Squad one for best makeup, where it's just like, oh, because it's something just so distinctly different. And I think Cruella, we said last year, this hopefully will win best costume design because they went crazy on this and
Yeah.
it looked
That's-
awesome.
That was like the point of the film, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Siriano, period piece, I get it. Dune, not to take anything away from them, but yeah, it's very sci-fi looking, which is cool. Nightmare Alley, yes, again, people in the world will be like, yes, this visually beautiful movie, but yeah, West Side Story is the only other one that I would maybe consider.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
going to go with Cruella.
Yeah.
Directing. Anthony, do you want to read that one out?
Yeah, we have Kenneth Branagh in Belfast, Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog, and Steven Spielberg, West Side Story.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Because, again, we go back to that comment that we were talking before where does the Academy look at Jane Campion now and give her the finger, or do they still just kind of go in and say, oh, yeah, Jane, you totally deserve it?
I'm going to go with Jane.
You're going with Jane?
Yeah.
I want to go with Kenneth.
That's Kenneth who's I was leaning towards as well.
I would love to go Paul Thomas, but
But we know he's not going to get it
No.
because for some reason people hated that film, I think, or something. I don't know.
You either love it or you hate it.
I think
Yeah. No?
of all the people in this group, like it's just pointing at Jane
I know.
because it's all men.
I know.
It's not like a combination of women and men.
Yeah.
So it's like
Vote
if
for
she
the woman.
doesn't win, it's like it's a fuck you to women directing.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I mean, yeah, because last year we had Chloe Zhao won Best Director and Best
Yeah.
Picture. Jane Campion, and I think we made our thoughts known about what we thought of her today in the sense of what her comments. And we weren't really big fans of The Power of the Dog. Like,
No.
really.
You know, whispered. Say it loudly.
Yeah, I didn't like Power of the Dog.
Say it loudly.
I don't like dogs.
No! Wrong
You
statement.
just hear a bunch of dogs.
Cujo
What?
breaks in the door.
I know this is weird, but I also wouldn't be surprised if people chose Steven Spielberg. Like,
Really?
I could actually see that happening because the love that West Side Story
Yeah.
is getting, people are like, "Holy shit!"
It just
Steven
seems
Spielberg.
too obvious a little bit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, I get it.
I'm going Kenneth. I'm going Kenneth,
I'm gonna go Kenneth as well.
but
Put
Did
a
you
little
watch Belfast?
No, but I still know that he's a fantastic director.
yeah. Have you seen it yet?
No.
You guys should watch it before the Oscars.
I-
It's really
I
I'm
good.
not saying
watch-
anything about like
Yeah.
him being. I just want to know if you watched Belfast.
No, I haven't watched it yet. But I gotta watch that and Drive My Car still.
Yeah.
Drive My Car. Yes.
Baby, you can. drive
Shay, do you want to
my
read
car.
out documentary?
Yes. So we have Ascension. This is a documentary feature as well.
Yeah.
Ascension, Attica, Flea, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution.
Cannot be televised.
That's it. And Writing with Fire.
I'm between Flea and Summer of Soul on this
Me
one.
as well. I'm going
with Flea.
with Flea.
Flea. Like I didn't watch Summer of Soul. Soul.
yeah,
I know
I
a
did.
lot of people liked it, but
Sundance, we watched it,
Yeah,
right?
we watched it Sunday.
Yeah.
did you guys watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch it. But Flea again was very impactful. Like
It's
I
still on my
remember
mind.
it. It's
Yeah.
still on my mind, and it was such a well told story. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that should win Best Picture. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Are you going for Flea then in this category?
I went for Flea in this
I'm going
one.
for Flea.
And I know that it's also an international feature film, but I think if any movie is taking international feature film, it might be Drive My Car. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. I chose Summer of Soul
Okay.
for documentary feature. Documentary short subjects, things that there's nothing in this category that we've watched, full disclosure. So we are just going to be judging it
This
based
one we always base off of
The
how
name?
the announcer says the name.
how we say it. The Queen of Basketball.
And the winner is Audible. Lead Me Home.
So are we gonna read it?
The Queen of
Yeah,
Basketball.
we should. Yeah, oh, Jay's reading them out now.
3 songs for Benazir. When We Were Bullies.
I feel like when we were bullies.
The last two really like
When we
hit
were
me there.
bullies kind of sounds like something. So I'm gonna go for
Or
when
even
we
like
were
3
bullies.
songs for Benazir, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Can you say the queens the queens of basketball again?
The Queen of Basketball.
Yeah, it's all about the sound.
So
that feeling.
you went.
I went When We Were Bullies.
Are you going Queen of Basketball? Because
And the Oscar goes to
I'll do the queen.
When
of
We Were
basketball.
Bullies.
Okay, so I'll do 3 songs for Benazir.
We'll see. Film editing. We have Don't Look Up.
That's like free parking, really. That's that
Yeah.
that one right there. Sure.
We have film editing. We have Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, The Power of the Dog, and Tick, Tick, Boom.
I don't know.
Daniel, I know you said that Tick Tick Boom was really well edited.
Yeah.
You made a point.
I liked it.
Yeah.
You watched,
I watched
it
it
too?
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You made a point that it was like
It was very
really
well
well
edited.
edited.
Yeah, because it's like jumping back and forth.
well
all-
shot, it was
well
well
shot.
edited.
Yeah.
The Power of the Dog really had some interesting editing sequences too, especially the banjo sequence, which is just added to
This
the.
is where I can see Power Dog also getting like
Yeah.
some obscure awards. You know, like okay, sure, yeah, it's film editing. You
Yeah.
walked away with that
Dune
one.
was good, but like Dune just felt it wasn't like energetic editing. It was just very
grand. It was grand.
It was grand, but
Yeah.
I felt like they didn't have to take risks in the type of edit they were.
no,
you know?
because they also were telling a story
Maybe
that
they do, and maybe I just didn't get it.
but they also were telling a story that we knew they knew they were going to get a part 2. So
Right.
this movie kind of also, that's more of a story thing I get, but like also things are kind of left open for
Yeah.
the future, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with Tick Tick Boom just because I think visually that movie did a lot with its cuts and it was very deliberate feeling. So I'm gonna vote for Tick Tick Boom.
My heart wants to say Tick Tick Boom, but my brain's like Power of the Dog.
I think it's Power of the Dog.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
gonna-
it's gonna be Power of the Dog.
I'm gonna give the little asterisk to Tick Tick Boom as like but it's going to Power of the Dog. I think.
I'm also Power of the Dog.
International feature film: Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Lunata, A Yak in the Classroom, and The Worst Person in the World.
I
Go ahead.
think Drive My Car is the shoe-in for this
Yeah,
category. I know Flea, like for me, was the only
Yeah.
movie I actually watched internationally out of this. Hopefully I can watch Drive My Car soon. But like just hearing the praises and people talking about it, I think this is pretty much a shoe-in for
sure.
I think this one can also go to The Worst Person in the World because it could be that random.
Sorry,
like,
who's on it? Who
the
was
worst?
it?
It's you, I think.
No, I,
The Worst Person in the World.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, which I think is Jane Campion, right?
yeah. I was gonna make that joke.
It could go there too. I would like that one too. But I think you're right. I think Drive My Car because that's what I was saying before too. And then yeah,
Anthony, who did you choose?
I chose Drive My Car.
Drive My Car. I went to Drive My Car as well too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a little asterisk on The Hand of God for some reason because I have a feeling that one might creep
I'm
up.
putting
again.
mine on Worst Person in the World.
Your asterisks?
Yeah.
Makeup and hairstyling. Coming to America, done by Mike Marino, friend of the show, who's on recently. Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. I'm going Mike Marino all the way on this one. Coming to America.
Me too. Like out of all the makeup and hairstyling we saw, I think Coming to America it's like
Unreal.
it's unreal. Like the guy made like 800 million
different people.
costs. Yeah.
Like, didn't even make them look like the people that they were.
Eyes of Tammy Faye, makeup was good.
Yeah.
House of Gucci, I don't like. I get Jared Leto. Cruella, and then Dune, which was the dude. I don't know.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, that guy, Swampy Man.
I
Swamp Man.
want to give it to Coming to America. I just don't think the Academy respects it for some reason.
It's possible, but also, I'm also thinking of the sense of the Suicide Squad one, and that movie was hated for makeup and hairstyling. Remember?
You bring up a good point. I'm going to give it to Coming to America. A little asterisk beside Dune, which was and Cruella were my.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a little asterisk on Tammy Faye for mine. Not that we get points for the asterisks,
No,
but
but it's like
just more. It's more like we thought about it.
Yeah.
You want Coming to America as well?
Coming to America. Yeah, I have to pay. Like we had the guy on our show.
We did.
We have to respect him.
Anthony, do you want to read music original score?
Yes, music original score. We have "Don't Look Up," Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. For this one, it's gonna be Dune. I think Dune's score is
Dune's score was phenomenal.
phenomenal.
It's weird that Encanto's nominated for original score, but the movie's a musical and the song "Don't Talk About Bruno"
Yeah,
was not nominated.
they didn't submit it. They didn't expect it to be that big, and Lin-Manuel Miranda wanted to send a song that felt captured the movie more. Yeah, because we don't talk about Bruno was very it wasn't like the kind of like the main song in the movie, even though
Yeah.
it's a song that everybody sings.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the heart of the movie, right?
All right, I'll give Dune.
I was going to Dune as well because I also don't really remember the music of Encanto, like in terms of
The score.
The score.
Yeah.
Don't Look Up, not at all.
No.
The Power of the Dog. No. Parallel Mothers. I have not watched yet. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Dune. Anthony, you went with Dune as well.
That is correct.
And thank you very
D-U-N-E.
much. Would you like to do a music original song as well for us, Anthony?
Yes. So for music original song, we have "Be Alive," King Richard, "Dos Ogueretas." Hopefully I pronounced that right. "Encanto." "Down to Joy," Belfast. "No Time to Die." No Time to Die. "Somehow You Do." "4 Good Days."
So my heart right now is telling me to vote for Encanto, only because people are going to be like, "Oh, is that the name of the song from Encanto?" I was gonna that, but also "No Time to Die."
But also, "Be Alive" was Beyonce.
Yeah, but she was nominated for an Oscar for this Lion King song too, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
You think
I didn't like the King
This
Richard
is
song.
Beyonce's year?
No,
It's not Beyonce's year, eh? She never
Could
wins,
be.
eh? Poor girl.
yeah, she's so not successful.
I feel like Bond songs usually have a good track record.
Yeah,
But that Bond song's so boring.
I agree with you 100%.
I don't even know who to vote for.
I remember I said that. Was it last year? That I was like, "Is it Bond songs usually win?" And you're like, "No, they don't." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. They don't. Sometimes they do."
Sometimes they do.
Yeah. Recently they've had a good average.
They've had a good.
I'm,
Sam's-
I'm going to go "No Time to Die."
I'm gonna go with Beyonce, "Be Alive."
I'm gonna go with Encanto. So we got 3 different votes here. That's good.
Yeah.
Production design. Shay, do you want to read those out?
I do. Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story.
West Side.
I'm going to give it to West Side Story. It had really good production design.
I'm gonna give it to Dune. The set design and everything that encompassed that movie was like on a scale
Yeah?
never seen before.
Oh, okay.
I want to say West Side, but I'm going to go with The Tragedy of Macbeth.
All right.
So we got another one where we're all in different areas here.
Yeah.
Short film, animated. I'll go for this one. Affairs of the Arts, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin, and The Windshield Wiper.
You got to read them out like they're winning the award.
And the nominees are Affairs of the Art, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin, and The Windshield Wiper.
I'm gonna go with Bestia.
And the Oscar goes
Affairs
to...
of the Art sounds good too. Like, oh, Affairs of the Art. Like, wow.
I'm going to go with Robin.
Oh, really? A double name, eh?
The award goes to Robin.
Robin 2. Robin. Tweet. Not the song.
That's
in the
not.
movie.
That's not the one. So I went Robin. You went,
I went Affairs of the Art.
and did you go Box Ballet?
Bestia.
Bestia. Yeah.
Bestia.
Short film, live action. Ala Kachu, Take and Run. The Dress. The Long Goodbye. On My Mind, and Please Hold.
Long Goodbye sounds pretty cool.
The Long Goodbye does sounds legit.
Yeah.
Is that you're going for?
I'm gonna go with On My Mind.
The Long Goodbye. I'm
Daniel,
gonna
you should go with Please Hold.
no. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna watch. You're gonna say that, and then that's gonna win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with The Dress.
Interesting.
Again, we're just making these up at this point, but
Yeah. Sound.
Let's do it.
Belfast. Dune. No Time to Die. The Power of the Dog and West Side Story.
I'm between Dune and No Time to Die in this one.
I'm between Dune and West Side Story because it's a musical.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dune.
I'm gonna go with No Time to Die.
I'm gonna go with. Should I go with West Side Story even though I wanted to go with Dune?
You go with who you want to go
Yeah,
with,
man.
man.
What is this? You choose who you want.
All right, Dune.
Good job. Good job.
You went Dune?
I went Dune too.
Yeah, I think we'll go Dune, but I would also not be surprised if it's No Time to Die. Visual effects: Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man: No Way Home. Dune for me on this one.
Yeah, same.
Yep. Me too.
Writing, adapted screenplay. Anthony, do you mind reading these out for us?
Yes. I'm just finished checking off. Writing. We got Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog. This is for adapted screenplay. I'm gonna go with The Power of the Dog.
Yeah, me too.
Dune was a great adapted screenplay. The Lost Daughter could also be a big one.
See, Dune, was it adapted? Was it good? Because they never finished the story.
It's also
so
true.
How can you win for
I
something
want to
that's not even
say Coda. I think I'm going to go with Coda. But I would not be surprised if it's The Power of the Dog, which I'm most likely thinking it's going to be, but I'm going with what I want in this one. I want it to be Coda.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
finished? Okay.
Writing original screenplay. We have Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World.
I think in Belfast here.
You're going for Belfast. I'm going Licorice Pizza.
I'm going for Licorice Pizza as well.
I don't know, man. The Academy right now, like they love PTA, but
But it's been winning, you know? It's been winning.
has been winning this award.
It's been winning the original.
Okay, fine.
Screenplay.
Licorice Pizza.
But is that what your heart? Because your heart went Belfast. Are you going to put a little
my
tick on
mind went
Belfast?
Belfast. My heart is Licorice Pizza.
Okay. Now the big award of the night.
Coda.
Best Picture. The nominees are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Who is winning that Best Picture of 2022?
I'm giving it to Coda.
Anthony, hold on. Before actually we get to Anthony, what's your mind behind that?
It's doing really well in terms of this award as well, but it also could be the same story that happens to a lot of films where they win in every other awards show, and then the Oscars come and they're like blindsiding you. But yeah, Coda is where my heart goes. I think I want this movie to win. I think it's a beautiful film. Yeah, it's phenomenal. I feel like it's too obvious for The Power of the Dog, and I think with Jane Campion's remarks as well, like, fuck it.
Anthony, how about yourself?
I'm gonna go with West Side Story.
Wow.
I think
I like it though.
I think in the grand scheme of a movie
Yeah?
Best Picture,
Yeah.
it feels like West Side Story would win it. It would beat. The only other person I can think of winning is Power of the Dog. Like I love Coda, but I don't know if it's there yet. Like in terms of the grand scale of Best Picture.
Sure. But when we look at Best Pictures, and I'm not arguing with your statement at all,
Yeah.
we've also seen a lot of like smaller films win a Best Picture, like
100%.
Nomadland and Moonlight and
Green Book.
Green Book, where it's like they're not these,
Shape of Water.
like they're not these grand films. But I would listen if West Side Story won Best Picture, I'd be so happy to
And
see
it's
that.
the category that I'm going to take the most risk on because I haven't really taken the risk on a lot of them. So I think I'm going to shoot my bullet in the air and
Hold on, is that
sorry,
the
what?
expression?
Are you starting a race? Like, what's going on?
is that the expression?
But
Yeah,
listen,
Oscars race.
as we said at the top of this, are we playing to win or are we playing to have a good time? And I want us to have a good time. You know?
Because I'll be honest, this is the year of the Oscars that I have
I care about least.
the least investment.
West
Yeah.
Side Story. Like I can see it. And Best Picture goes to West Side
And
Story.
we're like, oh my God.
and Steven Spielberg and
I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
that
I love West Side Story.
because that story is like it talks about diversity. It's musical. People love it. Like it's Steven Spielberg. It's just
Yeah. No, it
it's
was
a
a
love story. It's like a
phenomenal
lot
movie.
of things. It's like the grand scheme of a Steven Spielberg film. Like we haven't seen one of these in so long,
Uh-huh.
and he did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
Like I
just wish-
see
I just
it
would-
winning. For
I
some
just
reason.
I know it's getting a lot of love now, which is the time, and that's the thing. You want the movies to be getting a lot of love now around the time of their Oscar kind of resurgence, right? Because the West Side Story came out in December. Theaters weren't really in a great spot then. People were kind of waiting for Spider-Man, but now West Side Story is in a really good spot. For myself, I also voted Coda because I have this weird feeling with it winning, the Producers Guild of America awards and a bunch of other awards as well too. Critics' Choice won as well, right?
I think so.
I could see it. Belfast was an early front runner, as was Power of the Dog as well. But I have a feeling that Oscar voters are going to want something that feels like, I'm hoping, feels something that is modern and is a proper representation of the year of the film that won.
Yeah.
Power of the Dog, maybe 200 years ago, would have fit that bill.
100%.
Coda feels like a 2021, 2022 film that represents where film is and can be in the stories that we're telling in terms of accessibility and diversity and telling the story. So I'm going for Coda, but again, it's the Oscars. I expect disappointment every single year. So that's kind of where I'm at. How do you guys feel about our predictions this year?
I feel okay about them. I feel like, again, this is the year that if I were to get 0 out of 23 here, I would be like, that's fine.
Any surprises in your choices of nominees?
No. Except my best picture. I took the biggest risk on that.
I think I took the biggest risk in not choosing The Power of the Dog for anything, and is up for like 11 awards. So we'll see.
Like a lot of times, films that are nominated the most don't always win. And like I think the last
American
movie,
Hustle too did that, right? When
Was it?
0 for 10.
Yeah. Like I think Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. It's the only one I remember that was nominated for
And it won it all.
And won it all.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, that's our Oscar nominations for 2022. I'm so excited to see where we are next year, because I think already this year we've had some incredible films come out. So I'm really interested to see what the Oscars are going to look like next year and what we're going to see as the best picture and be like, oh yeah, clearly that is the front runner to win this. Because this year there doesn't really feel like one.
No.
But we'll see. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Movie Podcast. As always, you could catch a brand new episode of our show every single Monday, and watch out throughout the week for our review episodes on all the latest movies and series. Make sure you follow us at the Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd. Subscribe to us on YouTube at the Movie Podcast as well, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also join our Discord and write into the show at hello@themoviepodcast.ca. Check out our show notes for all of those links and more. That was This Time with the Movie Podcast.
And we'll see you next.